Hi, I'm Michelle Oetman from All Children Reading, a Grand Challenge for Development. All Children Reading is a partnership of USAID, World Vision, and the Australian government. Together, we're advancing EdTech innovation and research to improve reading outcomes for marginalized children in low-resource contexts. I want to welcome you to the first in a series of training modules that will introduce you to important minimum standards to develop high-quality sign language storybooks, as well as train you on how to integrate these standards into your own work. We've assembled a tremendous group of specialists who, throughout this training, will cover every aspect of sign language storybook production. I want to give special thanks to Dr. Christopher Kurz from the Rochester Institute of Technology, National Technical Institute for the Deaf, who has been supporting All Children Reading in the creation of these minimum standards for sign language storybook production, as well as the coordination of this training. We also want to thank several specialists who contributed their expertise and experience in the drafting of these minimum standards on which you'll be trained. We are so grateful for their contributions. Many of us think back fondly to our favorite storybook as a child and remember being read to by a parent, loved one, or teacher. Not only was it fun, but it was an important first step in our access to language and to eventually learning how to read on our own. Yet around the world, millions of children have few to no books in languages they use and understand, limiting their right to quality education. For the more than 93 million children with disabilities, the shortage of books is even more severe, as resources, if available at all, often are not in accessible formats. But starting today, you're part of the solution to change that. Through our collective efforts to create storybooks in many sign languages, children who are deaf will now have fantastic storybooks in the language they use and understand that they will enjoy and can read again and again with their families. Thank you for being part of that effort. I want to introduce you to one other member on our All Children Reading team, and then we'll get started with the training.
Hi, I'm Erin Williams, and I'm part of the All Children Reading Grand Challenge team at World Vision. While we hope this series of training videos is beneficial to a broader global community, we've really created them to support the work of the All Children Reading Begin with Books Prize awardees as they develop high-quality sign language storybooks. Right now, I'd like to send a very special welcome to the Begin with Books Prize winners, as well as their local disabled persons partner organizations, all of whom are part of this community that we're calling a Sign Language Storybook Cohort. Under the Begin with Books Prize competition, we challenge global innovators to produce packages of high-quality, yet cost-effective and accessible children's storybooks in more than 30 underserved spoken and signed languages. When they're completed, they'll be available in the Global Digital Library, which is a free web-based platform and really an open-source repository for early grade reading materials. I personally am thrilled to embark on this journey with you, our Sign Language Storybook Cohort, as you integrate, refine, and validate all of these minimum standards through the course of your work. By participating in this training and using these resources, you're also joining a community of practitioners who are passionate about and committed to the creation of sign language storybooks. These books that you create will not only support literacy acquisition for deaf children worldwide and enhance sign language fluency, but it will lay the groundwork for greater parental engagement and provide resources to teachers in classrooms. By beginning with books, we're seeking to ensure children can reach their full potential while simultaneously accelerating progress toward multiple development goals. Thank you for taking this critical first step with us towards realizing the dream of every child enjoying and having access to high-quality storybooks in a language that they use and understand.